All right, let's have a chat about regional Australia right now with two blokes who are living it. They are local representatives of areas that have had no problems with coronavirus. Yet, this weekend, they'll be told how many people are allowed to sit in a cafe, a restaurant, all the rest of it. Their rangers will have to police this garbage. Bobby Burke is the Mayor of Bathurst. He joins us now from the great part of Australia. How are you, Bobby?
It is a great part of Australia, Paul, and good evening.
Good man. And Greg Williamson joins us now from Mackay as well. How are you, Mr Mayor?
I'm very well, Paul, and it's great to be on your show. You're on fire tonight, mate. That's fantastic.
Good man. We rip and tear, mate. It's what we do here. All right, I'll start with you first, Greg, because you were so lovely there. Not that you weren't, Bobby, but Greg got in first, which is... So, look, Mackay, I'm imagining 4/5 of bugger all issues when it comes to coronavirus, but you still have all the lockdowns. Now, OK, Palaszczuk's turned around and said the rule of 20 applies, not 10. But put simply, do you think that the restrictions that exist in Brisbane should exist in Mackay from any longer?
Well, the answer is no. We know that this is about risk management for us now, Paul. So we have had 15 cases and they've all been travellers. We are now into 4 weeks without any case here in the region. All of those travellers have been discharged. The 97 people who were contacts of those travellers are now all out of their quarantine area. So 4 weeks without any corona. There's been no community transmission of the disease. And what we're saying now, the risk management is for us. We're ready to accept it. We have the ability to contact trace. We have the ability to do a rapid amount and a fast amount of testing, rapid and fast, that's the same, and we can now, hand on heart, say we have a rapid response plan in place. So our hospitals and health service, which administers to about 180,000 people in our region, and our police service and our local disaster management groups, we are ready with a rapid response plan. So we're not saying that this is never going to come here. We're not saying we've got a head in the sand. We're saying, as a community, 8 weeks ago, we weren't ready. Now we are. And the response from our community is we need to go back to normal. We need to go back to work. And this, the 10-person rule, we'll do it because we've got to do it. But what we're also saying is that, the one size fits all was great 8 weeks ago. Now we need to revisit that because one size clearly doesn't fit all.
Yeah, and it's this thing, Bobby, I can understand a rule that exists in a heavily coronavirus-affected area of Sydney, but the idea that at Annie's old-fashioned ice cream shop, they're going to limit how many people can sit down when that one giant horseshoe booth could take 25 alone.
Yeah, you're correct. We have a big health system out here that runs from Bathurst right out to Gadooga. And we've only had 9 cases here in Bathurst and probably 45 across the region. And look, we have a great health system out this area, but it's time to move on. And, the 8 weeks that we've had of coronavirus, the state and the federal government are doing a good job on advising us on how to treat COVID-19. But we're ready out here in the bush. Look, we should be looked at a little bit different. We're a large regional area here in Bathurst, and you take in Bathurst, Orange, Dubbo, it takes up a large part of New South Wales. And look, it's just time. We need to do something different. We can't just listen to what all the politicians are saying. We need to talk to those health professionals a little bit more. They've given us good advice now, but regional New South Wales is ready to move on. We've had low cases of COVID-19. And, we're not like Sydney and these highly populated areas. And we're suffering out here. Like, we have little villages, probably only 10 people would go to the local pub or shop, and they haven't been operating. And, look, it's really hurting us out here. Bathurst relies a lot on the motorsport industry. They put around about $60 million into our economy. And, look, the government and them are not talking about what's going to happen there. We see horses running around on racetracks, but we need to get the engines running around Bathurst because that's what Bathurst depends on.
Yeah, bloody oath you do. Well, also it's the thing, right? The shops in Kelso, the Chinese restaurant in Blaney, all of these people need to be back up and running. But Greg, give me an idea about the types of businesses that are just your mates that are saying, "All right, we get it, but enough."
Hospitality industry and the tourism, the accommodation industry, all the small cafes, etc. they're the sorts of people who are really suffering. We've got a really good underpinning of our economy by the resources sector and the agricultural sector. They're doing all right, but it's the small to medium business, it's the industry alive, Bobby's saying, that keeps our region alive. That's the 10.5%
now suffering. And so, that's what we're saying. It's time to get rid of the regional one-size-fits-all and come back to regional Australia and say, we need to open up in regional Australia because, quite honestly, there's a need, and we don't need to have all those people out of work at the moment.
Bobby, you sound like a bloke who'd be able to, and I'm sure Greg's the same, but you need to hop on the phone to all those other mayors. You all need to go in a convoy and you go and need to knock on the Premier's door, because if she sees all of you from all of the regions, they need to learn this. They need to understand this, don't they?
Yeah, we'll never get back, mate.
We have to have 2 weeks in quarantine to come back to Queensland.
That's true. All right, lads, I appreciate it. Keep up the fight. Let's free the freaking regions, all right, because the recovery is going to take a lot longer there than the suburbs of Sydney, Brisbane or Melbourne. Good on you, Bobby. Good on you, Greg. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, lads. 2 mayors who care about their communities and see perfect example. Come on, premiers, let them off the hook.